If you're hitting the gym, eating healthy, and you're still skinny fat, I hate to break it to you, but you will always be skinny fat and you will probably stay skinny fat for life, or at least unless you hear what I want to say to you in the next couple of minutes. If you're sick of doing everything right but still hating what you see in the mirror, if you're sick and tired of avoiding the beach and wearing baggy clothes and your body simply not reflecting the effort you're putting in, then my man, you're in the right place. Just give me a couple of minutes because I want to show you exactly why you're still stuck skinny fat despite doing all the right things like hitting the gym, hitting your protein, eating healthy, and just overall doing all the right things. Plus, I will also break down and reveal the exact protocol that I use to go from skinny fat to lean, athletic, and confident while actually still enjoying my life and, eating my favorite foods and not stressing over nutrition or training overall. So that's the kind of agenda for today, and that's what I will walk you through in the next couple of minutes. But first, if you're new here, I just kind of want to introduce myself. My name is Tom Hennel, and I was at your exact spot and in your shoes just 4 years ago. I would literally train 5 to 7 days per week. I would, have no cheat meals, eat super healthy, be super restrictive with myself, doing a lot of cardio, you name it. I've done everything. I've done everything that you can honestly possibly think of, to be fair. But despite all of that, I would still look in the mirror and I would just be super frustrated because my body at all, did not reflect the effort I was putting in. And it was honestly like eating me up mentally. And it really, really sucked. And I was literally stuck in this kind of hamster wheel of, doing everything and, just basically being in the same spot until I figure out one simple thing. Now, I want to be really, really clear about something because my goal was never to look like a bodybuilder, not stage ready, not huge, not, sub 0% body fat. I did not want that. And if that's your goal, respectfully leave this video because I cannot and will not help you because I'm not there. That was not my goal. I am not intending to go nowhere near that. So if that's kind of your goal, please just respectfully exit this video. I wish you the best. But my goal was always to build this kind of, lifestyle physique where I would sure take care of my health, hit the gym and eat healthy 80% of the time, but the remaining 20%, I would simply enjoy my life, take care of my body, do the right stuff, but also overall enjoy my life. Like go out for dinner with my family, with my loved ones, enjoy it, have some dessert, not stress about the macros like 100% of the time, and just be lean, athletic, confident, just this kind of lifestyle physique, as I already mentioned, where you can easily take your shirt off anywhere, feel great, look great, not have to constantly, tug your shirt and worry about how others might perceive you and how others might look at you because you kind of look skinny, but you also look fat. And it's just this anomaly. It honestly looks weird. We gotta be honest, it looks weird and it's definitely not a pleasant phase to be in. But yeah, just be lean, be defined, and actually feel good while still enjoying your life. This kind of 80-20 principle of yes, being consistent, being healthy, being, doing the right good stuff for our body, but also enjoy our lives, have some drink, whatever, enjoy all of that. That was literally always my goal. And I'm really lucky, and I wouldn't even call it luck, but I feel really blessed and I feel really grateful that I managed to build this kind of physique where I went from looking like this to looking like this, literally in the last 15 weeks. This is my transformation because I kind of fell off track last year. But anyway, I basically made this transformation in the last 15 weeks. And I literally done it while still going out for dinners, having some dessert and stuff like this. So I finally achieved this and I want to teach you how to do the same in the next couple of minutes. That's my goal. Because what most skinny fat guys completely don't understand is one thing, and it's literally the one piece of puzzle that if you literally just put in, everything will make sense, right? So the one thing that 99.999, I swear to God, percent of skinny fat guys don't understand is that skinny fat is not just a fat problem. Even though that belly is really annoying and you want to get rid of it, you cannot just go lose fat and you also cannot just build muscle. You pretty much have both problems at the same time. And since 99, again, I would get back to this huge percentage, 99.9% of advice online is built for guys who are either really skinny and trying to build muscle or really fat and trying to just lose fat. But there is very little amount of information, and I'm trying to kind of fill this gap with this video, that is built specifically for this weird middle phase between fat and between skinny, and that is the skinny fat physique. And so when you go on and follow these, let's say, for example, cutting advice as a skinny fat dude, since you don't have enough muscle and you go on a cut, you lose a lot of muscle alongside with some fat, but that just makes you look like a smaller version of skinny fat. And on the other hand, when you go on and apply advice built for skinny people who need to build muscle and who want to build muscle, basically, you sure build some muscle, but you also build some fat along with it. So you just become this bigger version of skinny fat. And that is why you are still skinny fat and jumping between skinny fat and fatter skinny fat all the time, and nothing is working. This is exactly why, because you have up until now been following advice for people who are either skinny or fat, not exactly skinny fat, which is yourself. And again, this is literally what I will be breaking down right now. And honestly, as I said, once I fit this one last piece of puzzle in my mind, everything started making sense, and I realized why everything I was doing, quote unquote, right, was still keeping me skinny fat and was not doing me any good. And once I realized all of this, I literally went on to I went deep in a rabbit hole to build a protocol that is built specifically for skinny fat men. And again, this is literally what this video is about. So now that you finally understand what skinny fat actually means and why you have been stuck up until now, even though you're doing all the right stuff, let's just move to the juicy, meaty part of explaining the exact protocol that I used to go from skinny fat to lean, confident, and athletic without cardio, without restricting myself, and while still actually enjoying my life, because that's the goal. We still want to enjoy our lives. It's all about the enjoyment and sustainability. That's all it's about. I call this protocol, basically, I call it the body rebuild protocol. So let's just dive into it right now. All right, so in order to actually go ahead and fix the skinny fat look and build this kind of lifestyle physique where you're lean but still enjoying your life, you actually need to do 3 things, and this is what we are focusing in a body rebuild protocol. So thing number 1 that you need is a reboot. Because as a skinny fat guy, as a skinny fat dude, you have been following this bulking and cutting advice probably and doing all the right stuff, but not for you, for a lot of months, maybe even for a couple of years, like I was. In my case, basically it was 3 years. And what this basically does is it honestly leaves this kind of scar on your metabolism, and your metabolism is really confused. It does not know where it kind of stands, because at one point you're eating way too much and then you're eating way too little, or you're going in this crazy deficit, and it's just not where it's supposed to be. And by metabolism right here, just to kind of make it clear, I mean the amount of calories that your body burns on a daily basis, just kind of to function properly, right? And so if you eat at your maintenance, you keep your weight. If you eat above it, or if you eat above it, you gain fat. And if you eat below it, you lose fat. And so in order so that we can actually cut fat and build muscle later on, what we do need right now is to reboot that metabolism. What was that pronunciation? I want to say metabolism after those years, maybe months of bulking and cutting and basically just following the wrong shit online. So first of all, we need to reboot it, as I said, and we will do this by eating at your maintenance calories. So you will probably be eating a bit more than you are used to right now, and that is completely okay. We are not trying to cut fat, because if we were to, cut fat and go on a deficit, and, let's say we would hop on a deficit of, let's say your metabolism or your maintenance calories are 2,500, and we would hop on a calorie deficit of 2,300, maybe you would not even be seeing any progress, because your metabolism might honestly be at, let's say, 2,200 from all these hamster wheeling of bulking and cutting and following the wrong advice. So if that makes sense, first of all, the first thing we need to do before we even think about, trimming fat or building muscle is to reboot your metabolism by eating at your maintenance for 2 to 4 weeks. That's it. All right, so now that you understand that first you need to reboot, and so you want to do this for 2 to 4 weeks basically. And so what happens after these 2 to 4 weeks, but ideally keep it at 4 weeks, we want to move into the second crucial part of this whole body rebuild protocol, and that is the rebuild. And so what we are doing in this rebuild pillar or rebuild phase of this whole body rebuild protocol is that we are not just trying to lose fat, not also just trying to build muscle. We want to do both things at the same times. And we do this by following a very specific, number. So what we want to do is hop on a really small, maybe 200-300 calorie deficit that allows you to lose fat combined with the right training. So you want to add reps or weight every single week or every single session basically, plus hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. That's all you want to follow. That is the rebuild phase. And this small deficit basically paired with the right training and hitting your protein allows you to lose fat while building muscle. And so that's why we are basically essentially hopping on a really small deficit. And sure, the path might be a bit slower, but let me ask you something. Like honestly, do you want to look really bad and have it fast, or do you actually want to look good and take the slower path? Like this kind of test your patience, because you haven't gotten skinny fat in 1 week, not even a month, not even 2 months. It took some time. And the same way, you will need to test your patience and be more patient on this journey if you actually want to look good and build this kind of lifestyle physique and not finally just be self-conscious about your body all the time. So that's what you need to do. And ideally, this period should last somewhere around 14 to 16 weeks. For reference, I probably show you this result in the earlier parts of this video, but basically, essentially, I made this transformation from this to this in the last 15 weeks using this exact protocol. So that's the kind of result you might want to expect within the next 16 weeks. So that's the goal. Really small deficit of 200 to 300 calorie deficit below your maintenance, hit 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight, and lift with progressive overload 2 to 4 times per week. And every single session, you want to be adding reps or weight to the bar or to the dumbbell. That's it. It's super simple. So now that we have pillar 1 or phase 1 and 2 out of the way, and that you know that you first need to reboot by eating at your maintenance calories for 2 to 4 weeks, ideally 4 obviously, and then after those 4 weeks, hop on a 2 to 300 calorie deficit for 16 weeks while hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight and progressively overloading every single session. Let's just move into part number 3, and this is all about nutrition, because the meal rotation protocol, or basically what I call the meal rotation plus the smart swaps protocol, is what will help you eat in a way that's sustainable, enjoyable, and that honestly just does not burn you out, and that you will be able to sustain for life, for literally years and years until the day you die. But that's far away, hopefully. So pillar number 3, the meal rotation protocol. We don't want to really be having a millions of recipes, because you probably have. If you are anything like I was back when I was skinny fat, I had millions of fitness, health, high protein recipes saved on my Instagram, and it just honestly made me overwhelmed. I had a lot of decisions to make. I woke up every single morning. I didn't know what to have for breakfast. Then I went on. I didn't know what to have for lunch, dinner, etc. And that would just honestly burn me out. I would have a lot of decisions to make, and that's something I call a decision fatigue. And it's honestly a really underrated killer of progress, because if you have a lot of decisions to make, you, my guy, are going to burn out, and you will honestly make the wrong decision 99% of time, because that decision fatigue will be all right, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to cook. I'm really confused. I have a lot of decisions to make. Should I cook this? Should I cook that? Whatever. All right, let's just order takeout. Let's just order some Chinese. Yeah? That's what will happen essentially, right? So that's what we don't want to happen. Obviously you will be able to have some Chinese, right? But it's not the ideal choice, right? So this is literally what the meal rotation protocol actually fixes, because you want to look for a rotation of 3, maybe 5 meals that you can easily rotate every single day that you actually enjoy. So you won't have to eat chicken and broccoli if you hate it. You can literally, basically, for, let's say, I always give this example because I eat burgers and fries every single lunch. Swear to God. I get some ground beef, make some burger patties, make some homemade potato fries with some ghee and olive oil and a spray, put it in the oven, and that's it. That's literally what I eat every single day for lunch, and that's how the meal rotation protocol works. It's enjoyable, I love it, and it actually helps me hit my macros in an enjoyable way, and that's all that matters. So you want to find a rotation of meals like these that you can literally rotate every single day without burning out while still enjoying it. And literally just get creative like I did with my burgers and fries, because as I said, I love burgers and fries, so I literally have them just in a better, nicer version. So get creative. You don't literally need to think health foods first of all, like, okay, like I can eat chicken and rice, right? Nah, please don't do it. It's actually supposed to be enjoyable. So please keep that in mind and get creative. And this, my guy, is literally the full body rebuild protocol that got me from looking skinny fat to now being lean, defined, confident, and completely loving my lifestyle, loving my body. And like whenever I look in a mirror, I just feel so happy. And this is a genuine smile, and I literally want you to feel the same. So if you just follow this protocol and reboot at, eating at your maintenance, then hop on a small calorie deficit while hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight while progressing every single week, and then finding a rotation of couple of meals that you actually love, enjoy, and that it will help you hit your macros. That is the most important part. That's the whole protocol. If you follow it, I guarantee, dude, like if you don't get leaner, if you don't look better in the next 20 weeks following this thing, sue me. I literally see you in court, or not see you in court, essentially. And yeah, that's basically it. Follow it, get results, simple as that. Now, you might be thinking that, sure, like Tom, this completely makes sense. Like, I see how this can help me, but you probably have a couple of questions in mind. Like, how do I calculate my numbers? Like, how do I calculate my maintenance and deficit? And like, what kind of numbers should I follow at the gym to correctly progressively overload? Like, what happens if my life gets busy? How do I actually find this rotation of meals that I actually enjoy? Like, how do I find these meals? And these are all questions that I answer within my Rebuild Bodies coaching program. Every single one of them, step by step, built around your lifestyle, your body, your preferences, stuff you love, stuff you hate, everything. And here's everything that you get when we work together. First of all, you get your own reboot and rebuild protocol built around your body, your lifestyle. As I said, like, we are all different humans. Like, what I give to one client will not work for another client, and that's why it's super important to have something super personalized, super tailored for yourself, because that is the only way this will work. We all have different bodies, different lifestyle, different, like jobs, sedentary, active, at construction, whatever. Like, we're all different, right? So you get all of these built out for you specifically by me, given to you, right? So you basically get your exact calories, training, progressively overloading, everything. Like, all your numbers are done for you, so that literally all you need to do is go on and follow those numbers, because I will take care of everything else, honestly. I give you the kind of like roadmap, and all you have to do is literally just execute it. Second of all, what you get is your very own meal rotation system, which, as I've already talked about, and as you probably remember, is a simple rotation of meals that actually you love, help you hit your numbers, and are super enjoyable, so you won't be eating chicken and broccoli without salt, because salt is bad for you. That was a joke, honestly, right? But you won't be eating any of that. You will actually be eating foods you love, enjoy, and in a way that helps you make progress. So I will help you with that as well. What you will also get is access to my micro progression protocol, which is the exact framework I use to build muscle without getting fat. And this is literally where all the numbers, the progressive overload, what exercise to choose, basically your very own training program with the very exact numbers set up for you. So again, all you literally have to do is just get in the gym, lift the weights I tell you to lift, and that's it. And last but not least, which is honestly the most important part of everything, because this makes everything stick together, and that is full access to me. So voice notes, video calls, phone calls, Loom videos, whenever you need me, I'm there. I'm not the kind of coach who, you will text on Tuesday and he will reply on Friday, because that is when he's got his like client work scheduled. I'm not that kind of coach. I'm actually hands-on, and I'm there 24/7 for you. Or not really 24/7, because I need to sleep as well, right? But most of the time, I'm there for you. So please, if you decide to join my program, like, literally abuse this, because the guys who get the best results are the guys who are always, like, quote unquote annoying me with stuff. Even if you think it's annoying, please don't. I love annoying. I want to help you. That's my job, right? Now, if you love all of this and you would like to join Rebuild Bodies, here's exactly how it works. You want to go down to the description. You will find my Instagram. So click on it. First of all, click follow, obviously, then click message and message me the word fix. I'll ask you a couple of questions. I'll see if I can even help. And if I actually feel like, and if I know I can help you, we will schedule a really quick call. We will talk about more about your situation. And then if everything makes sense, we can go forward, and I will get you everything, everything you need inside your program. So your training, calories, everything, literally everything. I will get back to you within 48 hours. I will give you everything that you need, And yeah, we're rolling. We're honestly getting you to the best shape of your life, and that's it. Like, that's the main goal. But one last thing before I go, let me ask you something. What does staying the same cost you? Like, what is the cost of staying the same for you? And actually think about it. You know, another 6 months, let's say, of doing all the right things, but still looking average, still looking skinny fat, still hating how you look. Another summer, because it's really soon, but at the time I'm recording this, another summer of avoiding the pool or avoiding the beach or wearing baggy shirts, even on a beach because you don't really feel good about your body. How much does that cost you? Because honestly, dude, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You could easily take the information that you learned in this video, apply it and get some results. But honestly, dude, information is not the problem. Like, there can be a guy who has the most amount of information out there and he might always be skinny fat and stay skinny fat and never reach his goals in life because he's simply not taking the right action of him. Like, the guy who actually transforms and gets to the best shape of his life and builds this lifestyle physique that I've been talking about is not the one with most information. It's the one who actually takes the leap of faith. So if you're actually serious about fixing the skinny fat look and finally building a body that reflects the effort you're putting in and overall, yeah, just build a body that you feel great in and that looks good while still enjoying your life, this is your leap of faith, and please make this leap of faith. So go ahead, go down to the description, click on my Instagram and DM me the word fix and we will get you rolling ASAP, and I can't wait to see you there. So that's it and peace out.